I absolutely love the fall. The leaves are falling right now all around me. Guys, if you make no other soup that I have on this channel, you have got to make this soup. It is so good.
Thought I met you at the wrong time. Then you caught me on that one night. Girl, I wanna know how this thing get out of my control. Zip line into your timeline. Hey, that body don't lie.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If this is the first time you're here, I'm Tara, a nurse practitioner that loves sharing easy to make recipes that are not only super delicious, but also healthy. We are continuing our fall soup series today. We've made lasagna soup and a potato gnocchi soup. You guys loved those episodes. If you missed either of them, I will link them in the description box below so you can check them out afterwards. I am so excited to share today's recipe with you. We're gonna make an Italian wedding soup. This recipe is by far one of my favorite I've ever made. This soup is one of the best soups I've ever had. I've been eating this soup on repeat for the past 3 days for lunch. I brought it to work. Reheats beautifully inside of the microwave. Everybody at work was like, what on earth are you eating? Where did you get that? I gave this soup to my husband. He works outside. I put it inside of his thermos. He texted me and he was like, I want more of this soup. Make this soup again. Be sure you stay all the way through the end of the video. I know you guys love those recipe cards, so there's a recipe card at the end you could take a screenshot of for easy reference. If you're excited for fall Instant Pot soups, give this video a big thumbs up, grab your Instant Pot, and let's make this really easy recipe. I'm gonna use ground chicken. I've not ever made meatballs with ground chicken before, but I've gotta say, they turned out so good. All of the measurements, remember, will be listed in the description box below, as well as on that recipe card that is at the end. I'm adding in some milk. I'm actually using a cashew milk that I made with my almond cow, but use any kind that you have. And then I have some of this stale bread. So I'm just putting some of these homemade breadcrumbs in, and this is really something that you have to go by feel. So you may need to add more or less until it gets to be kind of like a consistency just like this. And then we're gonna roll them out. It's very helpful to use wet hands to do this. Then we're gonna set that aside. Then I'm gonna grab an onion, some garlic, celery, and some carrots. And we're gonna just roughly chop this up because I have got an absolute great hack. I know neither myself nor my husband like big chunks of things in soup. So doing it this way, and just taking the skins off of everything and then grabbing a blender and throwing everything in works beautifully. Of course, you can just chop it up and leave it chunky if that's the way you like it. Then I'm gonna just add this to a little bowl and set it aside. I did put some water inside of the blender so that I could clean it out and not waste any of that delicious mixture. I decided to leave the carrots into chunks because we don't mind carrots being chunky in a soup. Then I've got some fresh basil and some fresh parsley, and I'm just chopping this up, and then we're gonna set it aside for after the soup is finished cooking. Then we're gonna grab our Instant Pot, set it to saute on high. I'm drinking this delicious dry red. When it's hot, we're gonna add in some olive oil, followed by, oh, I almost forgot, I love this hack for getting the oil evenly distributed on the bottom of the pot, just picking it up and swirling it around. Then we're gonna cook these meatballs in batches. I highly recommend cooking them in batches. That way they don't steam and they actually brown. This process really did not take very long, and in between the oil, I did spray it with a little bit of this olive oil sprayer that I have. Then we're gonna remove it once it's browned on the outside. They do not have to be fully cooked. Add in a little bit more oil. I used roughly 2 to 4 tablespoons, but use as much or as little as you like. Shaking the liner actually works better than trying to turn them because they are somewhat fragile, because I wanted to make sure that they stayed very moist. So I did not want them to be too dense. Then we're gonna just add in a pureed mixture right inside of the liner. That's right, we wanna scrape up all of those delicious bits that burned on the bottom. We want those in our soup because it's so good. Then I'm gonna add this dry white wine. I highly recommend using wine. It really adds a depth of flavor. If you don't want to use wine, alternatively, you could just add a little bit more chicken broth, which is what I'm doing here. I'm using a chicken broth and also some garlic broth. Then we're going to add in our dried spices. You definitely could have added these in when you were sauteing the pureed mixture. That would have worked really great also. Then we're going to add in the carrots along with the meatballs. Carefully put them in. Next, we're going to add in the pasta.
Traditionally, you use a very small type of pasta inside of Italian wedding soup. I did not have any pasta like this on hand, but I did have some Pearl Couscous. So that's what I'm going to use today. It turned out so good. The soup was actually super creamy because I added the couscous. That being said, use any type of couscous or pasta that you like.
I'm only using 3/4 of a cup because trust me guys, this is gonna really bulk up once it cooks. Add in just a little bit of water along with a bay leaf. I love using a bay leaf in soup like this because it adds so much flavor. Then we're gonna grab our lid, make sure the silicone ring is on, set it to sealing on high pressure for 15 minutes. We're gonna allow 10 minutes of natural pressure, perform a quick release, and when that pin drops, open up the lid. And of course, the first thing we need to do is get out that bay leaf. Then we're gonna add in some fresh spinach. Alternatively, you could use kale. I love using spinach here though, but use whatever you like. Look at how incredibly delicious this looks. I almost forgot to add in those fresh herbs. Then we're gonna grab a bowl and ladle it in. Top it with some more fresh herbs, a little bit of red chili flakes. You could even use some grated Pecorino Romano or Parmigiano Reggiano. That would be so good. I brought it to work. Look at how perfectly it warms up. This soup definitely is one of my favorites I have ever made. If you make it, be sure to tag me and let me know what you think.
If you enjoyed today's easy Instant Pot recipe, give this video a big thumbs up. That way I'll know to make more recipes like it. Also, I would love to know any ideas you have for a future episode. Drop them in the comments below. Looking for more fall soup inspiration? Click the playlist on the screen and I will see you over there. Bye guys.